Oh, that's an impossible question. Home Grand Prix and then Monaco. That was a very cool moment. I've still got that framed in my bedroom at my mum's house. I got to go out into the middle of the MCG in the lunch break, which was pretty priceless. I know this isn't very Melbourne of me, but I will get a hot chocolate, please. Hey guys, Oscar Piastri here, and today we're in Melbourne. Hop in and let's go. I mean, it's always nice to come back home and be able to, one, get another bout of summer. You know, don't get me wrong, I love going racing, that's why I do it. But the tougher parts of being from Australia and being in F1 is, you know, you don't get to see your family and friends. They come to some of my races, but I'm flat out, pretty much a hi, good luck and bye. Cars have always been a pretty big part of my family, I would say. My dad's dad and my mum's dad were both mechanics. My dad's business is in the automotive industry, and they've always watched racing and worked with cars. I'm the first one from our family to actually go racing properly myself. Started racing down at Oakley. As I got a bit better and things got a bit more serious, I started doing, you know, a lot more statewide kind of karting and then nationwide karting at a national level. So that's kind of how it all progressed. Inevitably, you have to leave at some point, which I did. I knew, you know, pretty quickly that that's what I wanted to do, was try and make it as far as I could in motorsport. And I mean, my first goal in racing was to become a professional driver. I didn't really care too much where that was or what series that was in. Got into kind of world level karting and then started in single seaters and had some success, you know, pretty much straight away. It kind of went from going, okay, I would be happy to be a professional, to going, okay, I think I can, you know, definitely do this as a professional, but I want to make it to F1 and I think I'm good enough to. So yeah, it was a big moment, but I knew pretty quickly that was what I wanted to do and race the best guys in the world. Very glad that I stuck through all those tough times and, you know, was able to achieve my dream. There's not necessarily kind of one thing to see or do in Melbourne. Eat at good restaurants, see sporting events, see music festivals and events. There's so many things to do that aren't necessarily just seeing a building or something like that. It's actually having a really cool experience. The atmosphere that Melbourne has, you know, it's a very multicultural city, a lot of different food, all of it is exceptional quality. I know this isn't very Melbourne of me, but I will get a hot chocolate, please. Before I got involved in racing, I just loved playing sports. The main two were Aussie rules footy and then cricket. I always loved watching it and loved playing it too. I don't really know why. It's not been a big family sport for me, but being there Boxing Day, it was my second Boxing Day actually. So that was very, very cool to go and see. I got to go out into the middle of the MCG in the lunch break, which was pretty priceless. It's not very often you get to experience things like that. Put it this way, I definitely wouldn't have made it as an Australian cricketer, so it's a good thing I was good at driving race cars. It's always interesting to watch and meet people from, you know, the highest level of anything, experiences they've had, and try and pick out what makes them so good. You quickly realize trying to get to the top of anything that it doesn't just come by luck or even just by natural talent. You know, there is definitely aspects of that for sure, but there's a lot of hard work, a lot of commitment, a lot of trial and error, a lot of adjustments that go with it. It's always interesting to meet, you know, fellow Aussies that have especially reached success on the world stage. A lot of the sacrifices are very similar and a lot of the traveling is very similar. Seeing so many fans, I think for me that was the biggest thing. It was kind of nice to tick the box in some ways, but it was a pretty priceless moment really. And I've been lucky enough to do it quite a few times since, and it definitely never gets old. Winning my first Grand Prix and my second Grand Prix. First one was very special. The second win in Baku was really, really special. Had to pull off a big overtake to get into the lead and then hang on for about 30 laps defending from Leclerc for the rest of the race. And to be able to manage to hold on for the rest was, yeah, just an exciting win. To pull that off was very cool, because that was by far the most exciting win I've had in my whole career. A pretty tough one to beat. Hope there's a few that at least get close. Winning the Constructors' Championship was a massively proud moment to be part of. Hopefully this season we can repeat that and add some more trophies. It's incredibly cool to be able to celebrate that with the team, because it's not just my hard work, it's the hard work of nearly 100 people at the track, and then another nearly 1,000 people back at the factory. So it's really cool to be able to share that with everybody. The focus now is trying to win a Drivers' Championship. You have to believe in yourself, and if you don't think that you're the best guy out on the track, then you're kind of already lost in a sense. And that's not taking anything away from the other drivers, but that's the mindset you need to have. It's always a special race. Being my home race, it's literally 15 minutes from where I grew up. And the fact that it's now back to round 1 for this season is also very cool. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking coming back to Melbourne, especially for the first round, because you're not quite sure what the car's going to be like. You've got to have the team around you and the car around you, and I think we're definitely building that at McLaren. We've had a really good couple of seasons at McLaren. I feel like I've been growing as the team's been growing too, and I think hopefully we're in good shape from the start of this season to really mount a challenge in both the Constructors' Championship and the Drivers' Championship. And now hopefully we can cement ourselves at the top for a lot of years to come. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Catch you soon.